Field maintenance of chainsaws on the job site is an ongoing process. Oftentimes we'll sharpen our chainsaws twice a day if it's a big removal. Sometimes it just requires a light touch-up like Jorge is doing right here. And other times you've got to get in there and do a full-on cleanup of the chain, the bar, and all the maintenance to make it cut properly. My name is Blair Glenn. I'm an ISA certified arborist and the owner of Saratoga Tree Service. I've been in business for 37 years, and we have a technique that we work on with our chainsaws that seems to work quite well. Gerardo here was complaining about the chainsaw cutting at a curve. Now there's two things that would cause a chainsaw, well actually three things that would cause a chainsaw to cut on a curve. The first would be if one of the teeth on one side was sharpened a little shorter and the other one was a little longer, shorter, longer, then the bite would cause it to curve. The second would be if the groove is too spread apart. And the third, which happened to be this case, is if the bar develops a burr on one side. He's pointing to the burr with his file there. Now bar maintenance is just as important as maintaining the sharpness of the chain, and it's one of those things that gets neglected quite often. You have to run your finger carefully along the side. It's very sharp, so you use your fingernail to see if there's any burr developing on all four edges. If there are, you have to use a flat file to bring it down level. Another really important aspect is maintaining the clearance for the oil in the channel of the bar. It's a good idea to run a tool that reaches the bottom of the channel all the way around. Here's a close-up of using the flat file. You want to be careful not to raise the file too much because you don't want to narrow down the flat plane that the chain runs on. You don't want it to be wobbly up there. It doesn't take too long, but it's a critical point. Another thing that you want to remember to do is every time you do take the bar off, you flip it over so that the wear is even on both sides, because the burr usually develops just on the bottom of the bar where there's more pressure. Another problem with these longer bars is oftentimes they get bent a little bit. Sometimes you can't see it, so it's important to sight down the bar and see what you're dealing with. And there it is. You can see the bar has a slight curve to it. Now what will happen is it'll be binding in the cut. If you're making narrow or short cuts like 6 or 8 inch pieces of wood, it cuts just fine. But when you have a larger piece of wood, that curve will actually bind in the cut and slow you down. You can straighten these out a little bit, putting them on a curb and putting some pressure on, but you can also ruin them. But there's really nothing like a brand new bar or a bar that's been maintained and in top-notch shape. Thanks for taking the time to view this presentation. Once again, my name is Blair Glenn, and I am a certified arborist.